Hey Libra, Dr. Tarot from Take Charge Tarot here, doing your first week of October love, career, and soul path reading. Firstly, I want to welcome you to the channel, and secondly, I would like to congratulate you on Libra season. This is a lovely time. So starting with work, you got the Ace of Cups. And by the way, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot, which if you're interested in looking at or purchasing is in the comments below. Ace of Cups for work. So, for career. So I don't know quite. This is the feeling I'm getting. It's not so much that your work is so emotionally fulfilling. It's more that you have just found emotional fulfillment. A part of your work, career, has taken on some facet of it, has now felt as though it's emotionally fulfilling. So to think of it differently, another way to think of this card in the area of career is maybe you've started a hobby. What I'm getting is this: the work itself, the job itself, nose itch, that has not shifted much. And it's not that you've fallen in love with career in toto. What has happened is you have found a facet of that work. Let's say it's the same work. Let's say you are an electrical engineer, or you are a painter. Maybe the job has sort of taken, obviously we're in pandemic times, so, feel free to plug that socio-political reality into anything I say here, but you have found something within the work. Oh, it could be, that's a thought. It could be pandemic times has shifted some part of that job. And that shift has actually been emotionally fulfilling. And or you also, because things have shifted, what has changed is you have found something that is work-ish. I'm thinking a hobby. It could be a side hustle. It could be a volunteer opportunity. It could be, you get the idea, right? It could be homeschooling your child. Maybe you've just discovered, oh my God, I never thought I would want to homeschool my child. This, right? And lo and behold, you love it. You don't know why. Yes, there's a grand number of people that absolutely detest homeschooling their children, and that's totally fine. But not the case in this particular picture I'm painting for you. Moving on. Love looks beautiful. Love looks like there's lots going on. So we've got, rather in order, we've got Temperance for your first card. We've got Hermit. So these are two major arcana. And then we have Nine of Cups, which is always a great card. It's wish fulfillment. As you can see, the sun is sort of bursting and emerging from the person's chest. The feeling that I'm getting, whether you're partnered or not, your relationship has, again, if you're not in a relationship, what I'm really getting is this is relationship with self, which, let's be honest, and I certainly operate from this point of view, so I should probably be very transparent, that our love life and our love relationship it mirrors our relationship with ourselves. There really is no difference. It just so happens that another person is involved. But the fact of the matter is that our relationships are reflections of our relationship with ourselves, for better or worse. It just simply is. So what I see is that in this Temperance card, it's as though something big happened. Now, I can't get a sense, since I want to be as inclusive as possible. I want to say, and what I say inclusive is, some people are aromantic, asexual. They do not engage in relationships with others or intimate relationships with others. Others of us do. That said, in the area of love, in the area of emotional attachment, you're in an interesting You've gone through the struggle, whatever that is. You have learned the lessons, whatever those are, and you've just reached a point of transmuting those lessons. So the Temperance card is also a card of transmutation. What that means is taking a bunch of material, in this case, water and earth, elements, whatever, right? Lessons, whatever it is, fill in the blank. And combining those things, letting them marinate in your consciousness or in your body or in yourself, and then having produced something entirely different. So more than the sum of its parts, right? That is where you are. That is what has happened. That's sort of your placement, where you are right now with regards to an intimate relationship, a relationship with yourself, your relationship with relationships. I mean, we can keep going, right? But in terms of relating to other and or relating to self, that's where you have, it's almost as though, like, to simplify what I just said about transmutation, a bunch of lessons, hard fought, not fun, and now you are in the place where you've sort of settled into this new place, post-transmutation. That's where you are now. So let me show you again. And he is an angel, which in this deck, that's adorable. I guess angels in a lot of decks, and notice here, it's earth and sun. So let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Is that the earth? No, it's the moon. My God, of course, that makes more sense. I'm still familiarizing myself with this deck. But nonetheless, you get the idea. It's often like water, earth. So let us move on. So in the next card you get is Hermit. And I don't tend to think of these, when I do the love spread or the love portion of the reading, I don't tend to think of it temporally, meaning past, present, future, or now, later, and much later, or anything like that. But I do see that this has to precede this. Let's see. Right? This has to come first. And now there's like a marination happening. Now, it is true that Temperance comes after Hermit, well after Hermit. But in this case, there's sort of a, this transmutation. And by the way, what's weird about it, what I'm getting is like, it's quite possible that you look the same on the outside. Like, this has been a very internal process. So your life could look the same. Your partner could be the same partner. Much can look the same on the exterior, but your interior is most assuredly altered. And then that gives us the Hermit. The Hermit is not only a time of retreating into oneself and, meditating and going on retreat or something like that. What the Hermit is about, generally speaking, but I want to speak specific to this reading, is that the Hermit acknowledges, well, we know the Hermit is wise. It's a wise man, and typically, or a wise person in the traditional iconography of the Rider-Waite deck, which this is based on. But what you see is that, well, we can argue they're levitating, but I don't care about that. That's not the point. The point is, light is emanating from their person, and that light lights the way forward. Because the truth is, we only know the next step, right? We don't know, using myself as an example, I don't know what the next 10 steps are. I can plan stuff, but the fact of the matter, the truth of reality and the manner in which it's lived, is we can only really plan for the next thing and the next thing. And I am so okay with disagreements to that reality or that fact. But for the sake of the reading, and really that is kind of part of my belief system, I guess, this is telling me that you are now in a position, and you've already kind of been in this position, but just know that this is a good place, of reflecting upon the transmutation. I have no clue why that word keeps coming to me. You're reflecting upon the change. You're reflecting upon the combination of all of these forces within you. The cocktail, the mixture, and now you've sort of, there's a sense of retreat, but I want to say it's more like, it's not like you went on a retreat. It's that you now carry the spirit of a retreat within yourself. Meaning, I'm wondering if you've taken up meditation. Perhaps some of you, this might be a message for one person. You've taken up a meditation. Maybe you're starting to walk every morning, or you're doing walking meditation, which nothing fancy there. That means you're walking and you're getting lost in the act of walking. That's essentially meditation. You're just being. So you're taking that hermit energy into your everyday. It now has become a mundane part of your life. And then what's lovely is that we've got wish fulfillment. And it's so funny. This really feels, for a love reading, Libras, I don't know what you're up to, but you're definitely doing a lot of work. There's a lot of inner work, because even in the mushy gushy cups suit of 9 of Cups, this is really about an exalted sense of yourself. Like you are just this ecstatic, leaping off the cliff. Make sure it's a cliff. Oh no, it's jumping off the treasure chest, but whatever. Riches, I mean, that's also a very traditional 9 of Cups. I read tarot cards. But yeah, you're kind of reaping the benefit of, that's a lovely, I like it. I like it a lot. It's funny because I'm thinking, Libras don't want to hear this. I mean, not that I can tell you what you want to hear. I kind of just tell you what I see and what's happening. But I know Libras to be a little bit more, at least, this is an overgeneralization, right? Partner-oriented. And this whole reading is very much about self. So it's very much kind of first house stuff, which your 7th house, right? So Libra's over in the opposite direction. And finally, soul path. So now that I'm working through all of the energies, basically, here's the summary. You've changed. Yeah, you didn't need a tarot reader to tell you that, huh? But you have changed. But it is very active, internal, and significant, right? It's significant, but what's so interesting to me, like this, you could have the same job, the same career, maybe you're just working at home, maybe you still go to the job, but something has shifted in it, right? And then this huge monumental transmutation, this combination of two seemingly opposing forces coming together and creating another whole, again, internal. Like, not everyone's seeing it. You're just kind of doing you. And yeah, so I don't need to keep going through that because I just went through Hermit and 9 of Cups. And finally, we get 2 of Wands. You know, it's so cool. I really love this card, the 2 of Wands in this deck, because she captures, yes, the whole thing is pretty modern day, whatever, but this is such a beautiful way. The manner in which she captures the Rider-Waite iconography. So the whole world is right there before her. And those 2 wands, one of which is leaning against here, and she's holding the other one. She's ready for the next adventure, the next path, the next, she's just ready. And what I love is what I see, or what they're drawing my attention to in terms of this wand, this staff leaning against the wall. It's like, yeah, I have 2, but we'll just lean one over there. There is a sense of quiet confidence. Like, yeah, a lot of growth here, Libra. A lot of growth. It's only 1 week we're talking about, and yet it's still like, whoa. So I know there's a lot of crazy astrological stuff going on. I don't know. Maybe that's it. I'm not an astrologer. but I certainly, stay abreast somewhat of that world. But what a really, really cool. So Soul Path is a very, you know what Soul Path is for you. I really try to find a nice line between clarifying what I mean and clarity with also kind of allowing space for what you see in those words or in that construct or whatever. Because this is a partnership. I am reading to you, guides are talking to me, your guides, hopefully. I did seek permission, but I feel that they have let us in. But nonetheless, this is a dialogue. It's an energetic dialogue. So that within that, this reading should resonate with you. If it doesn't, it's a general reading for Libra. If Libra suns are watching this going, it's not for me. Well, definitely look at your moon, look at your rising, look at your Venus, look at your other planetary placements. You may find something there and or not. I don't know. But anyway, the point is that this is also, I don't want anyone watching this being like, oh my God, just not me. Why? So great place to land. And this soul path feels very integrated. So it's not just love. It's not just career. It's not just family. It's not just finances. It's really soul. You've gotten deep and you're on the path, but we are definitely at some kind of, well, it is a beginning. So Ace of Wands is, you took the invitation. You're like, yes, I will exhibit courage. I will do things that make me uncomfortable. I will act as if and do it. This notion of like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Now you've taken the invitation and now the opportunities begin to arise. Now you're ready. You're looking out your window for the opportunities to arrive. So, all right, lovely Libras, on that note. Fun fact, my child is a Libra, so that's fun. See you next week.